Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is Fanadian here. I'd like to welcome you guys all to another video. And today I'm going to be talking about who's going to be the Miami Dolphins MVP in 2021. I got my notes here because we're going to be listing off some stats. The way I'm going to do this video is I'm going to give you guys like a defensive MVP, an offensive MVP, and a special teams MVP. And then, I'll give some shout outs to some guys that I think can have a big year coming up here in 2021. So let's get started with the first player. We're going to be doing a defensive player first because I feel like this is the most obvious pick for team MVP, and that's because over the last 3 seasons, when this guy has been healthy, he has been the team's MVP, and that's cornerback Xavier Howard, right? This guy, 3 defensive player of the year votes, all-pro, pro bowler, the Dolphins' top player, right? Like, even PFF agrees with me. I know not everyone likes PFF, but they're good for some stuff. So can Xavier Howard repeat the season he had last year? I think so, right? He's going to have more time in Brian Flores' defense. I feel like they've improved the defense around him. An improved pass rush is really going to help him out because, the less time the quarterback has to throw the football, the less time he has to make reads. You can make him uncomfortable and throw some passes he doesn't want to throw. Just like in that Rams game, the Dolphins defense getting so much pressure on Jared Goff is one of the reasons why he turned the ball over so much. And one of the reasons why X is the team's MVP is because he is creating all these turnovers, which are huge, right? Like, I feel like turnovers are the biggest plays you can make on defense. They're most impactful plays. The only thing you could say is more impactful is if you take that turnover to the house for a pick 6, which was the only thing he didn't do last year. So maybe that's the one thing you can improve on is getting more pick 6s. And when you're looking at your corners and you're saying the only thing they're doing bad is not getting enough pick 6s, you're doing pretty good. And it's not just picks, right? Like, when you look at all the stats across corners for just like coverage grades, amount of defended passes, he is at the top for every single one of these categories. And, really looking forward to seeing what he does here in 2021. I think he has the potential to do even better than he did last year. This guy's been working hard. I've been seeing videos online of him training with other top cornerbacks, other top defensive players, right? There's been videos of him training with Melvin Ingram recently. So it's not like he's just satisfied with where he's at as a player. This is a guy that, thinks and knows he can improve, and I think he can continue to improve on what he did last year. Maybe he won't get as many interceptions. I think he still can get the same amount, if not more, but I think he'll still have a great season in 2021, and he's definitely our defensive MVP and most likely, right, the team MVP. So now we've gone over X. Let's go with someone else a little bit more, I guess you could say, surprising here with the offensive pick. And the guy I have here is tight end Mike Gesicki. I feel like Mike was honestly the best player the Dolphins had on offense last year. And the one thing I love about him is he's just a consistent improver. Right? He's improved every year. 2018 is rookie year. Only 22 receptions for 202 yards, no touchdowns, but 2019, 51 receptions, 570 yards, 5 touchdowns. Pretty good, but nothing crazy. But 2020, 53 receptions, only 2 more, but 703 yards and 6 touchdowns. So a lot more big catches, you could say, a lot more big plays, and that was one of the things that Mike was great at last year, was making the big highlight one-handed grab plays. This dude is super athletic. That's kind of one of the whole things with him, was he was more of a developmental athletic player, and he shows his athleticism all the time as linebackers and safeties constantly struggle with trying to cover a guy that's as big and as fast as him with good hands. And you see him continually keep working on things like his routes, and as he continues to develop his route running, he's just going to get better. His blocking has continued to improve, which is also a big part of playing tight end. I know we all just like to focus on the catching and the touchdowns, but to be a top tier tight end in the league, you need to be a good blocker, and he's going to continue to develop these skills, as we've seen him training at OTAs, but he's also going to, tight end university, where he's going to get to train with George Kittle, Travis Kelce, and all the other tight ends in the league, where he's going to be able to learn and develop. I've even seen that video, I'm sure we've all seen it, with Travis Kelce ranking as top 5 tight ends in the league, and he had Mike as number 5. So it's really great to see this guy start to get some recognition as he continues to develop. And speaking of developing, I think as Tua develops and these guys develop their chemistry with each other, we're just going to see Mike do better, right? We've seen some of his best games last year were like week 13 against Cincinnati, week 14 against Kansas City, when he got more time to learn and develop with Tua as they got more used to each other. I think getting Will Fuller and Jalen Waddle on the offense will help him out a lot too, as they're going to help open him up. He's not going to be getting triple covered anymore. Like towards the end of the season, because of all the injuries the Dolphins had, we had a Mike Gesicki with a bum shoulder out there getting triple teamed by guys and still making plays. So I think, us getting these extra weapons on the offense is going to help open them up as well. And the change to the offensive coordinators, I think, should help, as George Godsey, our new co-OC, was our tight end coach. So expect to see him get a lot of targets this year. Expect him, in this contract year to really, I want to say, pop off, right? Like, I have big expectations for Mike this year. I think he's got a good shot at, maybe even hitting that 1,000-yard mark, which would be pretty crazy. So big ups to Mike this year. And let's go with the special teams player. And the reason why I'm including a special teams player on this year is because I think this player is really good. I think he doesn't get as much love as he should because of the position he plays, and that is kicker Jason Sanders. I think if you get rid of positional value, Jason Sanders is the second best player on the Miami Dolphins, and this is why. Well, first of all, he was an All-Pro last year, 36 for 39 on field goals, made his first 30 in a row without missing, 100% from shorter than the 30-yard line, and 36 for 36 on extra points. Just great, consistent kicking. Anytime we saw Jason go out on the field, I was like, this kick's for sure going in. This guy is money. He had multiple big kicks, right? Like that kick at the end of the Arizona game was huge. Like, that was kicker difference. You saw their kicker missed. Jason made all his kicks. One of the big reasons why we won that game. Kicks at the end of the game. You look at that Las Vegas game. If he doesn't make that kick after that Ryan Fitzpatrick big, no look, he's getting his face ripped off pass, is it as cool as a highlight? It's probably still a sick highlight, but if the Dolphins don't win that game, it's definitely not as sweet. So that was a huge pressure kick for him to make. He even had games like the San Francisco 49ers game. He went 5 for 5 on field goals and then did the same thing against the Seahawks. So having a consistent kicker like that is huge, because there was a lot of teams that didn't have that. And a lot of teams lost games because of their special teams unit. And if you're like Brian Flores and you want to play this defensive, run the football, time of possession football, you need a kicker that's going to make consistent kicks and consistently get these points for the team. And you look at teams like the Ravens with Justin Tucker and how huge having him on the team is, how they can just put so much pressure on the other team by playing good defense and always being able to consistently get at least 3 points on the board, and just how easier having good special teams makes things for your offense as well. So I just wanted to give Jason Sanders some love, because I think he's a beast and he's going to continue to do so, hopefully after the Dolphins gave him, that big contract at the start of the offseason. So big ups to Jason Sanders. If I had to pick one between the three, though, to be the overall team MVP, I'm probably still going to have to go with X. But here's some shout-outs to some other guys that can be the team MVP, right? So let's go. Emmanuel Ogbah had a great first year with the Dolphins in 2020, 9 sacks. Let's see if he can get 10 plus this year with Jalen Phillips lined up on the other side of him, with him, being in his second year in the defense, with, an improved secondary, I feel like. At receiver, Will Fuller and Devontae Parker are in the same boat of being absolutely electric on the field when they are fully healthy, but neither of these dudes have been able to stay fully healthy. Parker did it once, Fuller did it last year, but that's because he got busted for steroids. So I feel like if either of these guys can stay fully healthy throughout the full season, both of these guys can be in the conversation for team MVP. And then we also have Raekwon Davis, Robert Hunt, and Tua. And the reason why I'm kind of listing all three of these guys at the same time is because they're all in the same boat of, if these guys can take a year or two jump, they can be huge. Like, that can be huge for the team if Raekwon Davis develops, right? PFF, all rookie defender list. Robert Hunt, well, I guess I should say not all rookie defender. He just made the PFF team for top rookie defensive players. I should specify that. He wasn't like the top dog, but he was close. Robert Hunt, super consistent improver throughout the year. Best of the rookie offensive linemen. Going to right guard this year. Has the potential to pop off. And then obviously Tua. There's not too much else to say about Tua. I haven't even made my Tua video yet, and I'm already saying there ain't too much already to say about Tua. I'm sure you've heard everything there is to say about Tua already if you're a Dolphins fan. Like, I've just been getting blasted with Tua videos, it seems like the last 2 weeks. So that guy has a chance to be really big. And let me know who you guys think has the chance to be the Dolphins team MVP? Do you think it'll be X, Mike? Maybe you think Jalen Waddle, the rookie, is going to pop off? Let me know in the comments. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more Dolphins content. And until then, hopefully I see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.